Hey, how are you today? Today I'm going to go over septic systems. And in today's example, I'm going to go over the most common type of system that we see in residential real estate in this area. It's all governed by Title V law. If you haven't already seen it, I do have a video on Title V where I sort of break down the report and talk about the kinds of things that we're looking for in the report when we go through and the types of things that you should probably be thinking about. So, but if you want to know how a septic system works, I really don't have a good way to show you when I'm at the property. So I did this quick little video so that you can sort of see what's going on. And again, this is the most common setup. It's a good setup. It's a good overview, but there are lots of differences between the various setups. And there's a lot, and the more modern systems, anything in the last 20 years, generally has significantly sophisticated engineered components that are worth talking about. And if you're already in a house and you just want to, learn a little bit about septic systems, have a conversation with the guy that's pumping your tank. And if you say, well, I don't have anyone pump my tank, go find someone and get your tank pumped. It's been too long. Okay. Even modern day systems are not designed to run indefinitely without pumping. And we'll go over a little bit why. But generally, there's three components to a system: a tank, a D-box, and a leach field. The size of those components depends on the size of the system, and it's generally rated by bedroom. So a two-bedroom system is going to have a smaller tank, smaller D-box, smaller leach field. A five-bedroom system is going to have a big tank, a bigger D-box, and a much bigger leach field. And the reason is because for every bedroom and they're rated in bedrooms for some reason, but I mean, it makes sense because they're trying to take a guess at how many people are living in the house to figure out how much water you're going to use. But they're rated by bedrooms, and basically a bedroom equates to 110 gallons of water a day per bedroom. So a four-bedroom system is 440 gallons of water per day. That is a ton of water. I know sometimes I get questions, they say, what if I use a lot of if you're using 440 gallons of water a day, you are using too much. You're being very wasteful. Come on, let's have some respect for the environment here. So, and the systems are really designed for, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay. But most people, my family, a family of five, pretty typical family of five, I think we use 140 gallons a day on average, and that's all laundry, all showering, it's really, really hard to get into, 400 a day. And and you really shouldn't be. So again, these systems tend to be over-engineered for daily household use, which is good. It means that they're less likely to fail. But they do get, really big as the number of bedrooms goes up. So, but generally everything goes into the tank. The tank is primarily for solid waste collection. What they're trying to do is they're trying to separate everything that's in there so that it doesn't get into the leach field. We don't want solids in the leach field, which we'll get to in a minute. But basically what you're hoping is that nothing but liquids gets into that D-box, okay? And liquids ultimately that can be broken down. Obviously, water doesn't need to be broken down. It can go right back into the system. But there's lots of other stuff that the solid waste in here, which is designed through the helpful use of bacteria to break down into a liquid, which ultimately then goes into the D-box as effluent and then out to the leach field. Okay. Once it gets into the leach field, again, the bacteria does its work, returns everything, 100% of everything back to Mother Nature. And it's good for your lawn too. So, I mean, you can't beat it. So if you're not sure where your tank is, I'll tell you the end of February, early March is a great place to figure it out. All you've got to do is look to and see where the snow melts first. Okay. Your tank, because of the bacteria in there that's breaking down those solids, is generating enough heat where it's going to melt the snow on top of the septic tank. And so, I get a nice clear outline. My tank must not be very far below the surface, but I get a very clear outline every time the snow starts melting. Of exactly where it is. I don't really have to guess. I know exactly where it is. So your leach field does not produce that kind of heat. Your D-box doesn't produce that kind of heat. Those are harder components to find, but they are in your Title V. And it should be noted that even though the tank is relatively easy to find because it's close to the house, the D-box and the leach field, they can be really far away. And some of these systems have pump up chambers because gravity, for whatever reason, the lot's not helping you with gravity. And so, you can move this stuff wherever. And sometimes they do that in order to find a place where the drainage is good enough where they can put a septic system in. But most of these systems are gravity, 90 to 95%, I would say, use nothing but gravity and Mother Nature, and take care of this whole thing. So again, this is a brief overview. I hope you found it helpful. But go over the Title V thing if you're in the market for buying a house, and you probably are because that's why you're on my site. But if you did just come here to learn a little bit more about your septic system and you liked the video, let me know. Thanks. Bye.